Hey guys, I'm back. I just wanted to tell you guys that I think it's actually a really good idea for any of you guys to start a YouTube channel because when I started this 3 years ago, it like I had like such less confidence than I do now. Like I had to read off a script. It was like so much I was so much less sure of myself than I am now, and it's like um now I can just talk spur of the moment, like it's a podcast or something, and it's really fun, really fun activity. I would highly recommend any of you guys do that. If you ever listen to Gary V, he says you should make 100 pieces of content a day, and so it's like, yeah, I think this is just a really fun thing to do. It's just really fun. Um, I think it's a really good way to spend time, because it just passes the time or whatever. Looks, there's dust on my keyboard. I gotta get off. But yeah, so it's pretty good. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of Just Chatting on Twitch, which is really cool to see people just see, like, they kind of gave me the confidence to do this because like they're so confident and they're so good at what they do, and they make so much money. It's like I watch so many people that are full-time doing that, and um it's like they know exactly what they're doing. A lot of those people have been doing it for like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and they're so good at it at this point. And yeah, they give me confidence because they're so confident, and I get confidence from their confidence, and I really enjoy being around them, and I really enjoy them, and I consider them friends, and yeah, I think they're great people. I think they're really great, and so yeah, I'm gonna try to imitate them a little bit here. I'm just gonna chat off the top of my head. Um, some of those people do it for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours on Twitch. I'm just gonna do this for like maybe 30 minutes more today, because I just thought of a couple other things I wanted to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is how much I enjoy YouTube. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about, because this really is a fun place to be. It's a fun place to hang out, and I just really like it. I really like it. But yeah, so Twitch Just Chatting. There's a really good group of people on there, and I think they're great. I think there's a lot of great people on there. I watch Luna Bell, I watch Ico Bliss, I watch Tadro, I watch a whole bunch of people. What's her name? Invader V, she's really good. Yeah, there's a bunch of people. I actually add new people. Add new people almost every day. I think every day I add a few new people because I always want to increase the number of people I follow on there, because I think that there's so many talented people. There's more talented people than on Twitch Just Chatting than I think there are on basically any other platform. It's really a great way to spend time. Yeah, there's a lot of cool people on there, like really cool people. And I learned so much from them. I think my favorite part of Twitch Just Chatting is how much I learned from them. I remember I started to listen to Coffee House Jazz because Ico Bliss would play Coffee House Jazz on her show, and it was like, I heard Coffee House Jazz before, but like I guess I didn't listen to it that much. I actually thought I used to think I like smooth jazz more than coffee house jazz, but smooth jazz is okay. But I never realized how much I like coffee house jazz until just a few times, like in November, like 2 months before Christmas, like Ico Bliss would play coffee house jazz, and it's like, wow, that's really good. It's like a really calming music, and it's like, that's just awesome, that's just awesome. And so I learned so much from her. I learned so much from all of them. it's and that's the most important thing is, are you learning from people? You want to associate yourself, you want to hang out with people that you want to learn from, and the people you hang out with are what you're going to be like in 10 years. So if you hang out with people who are strange, or I mean, there's nothing wrong with being strange, but if you hang out with people that are unimpressive, or whatever, or people you don't want to emulate, right? If you hang out with people you don't want to emulate, then do you really, if you hang out with them enough, do you really want to be them in 10 years? Which sometimes you do. Sometimes you just like them because they're in your local vicinity and they're your cousin or whatever, and you really like them, and that you've always been their friend, and they're great people. But sometimes you want to say, you know what, I actually want to emulate these other people who I actually think are more impressive. I could emulate the people who have been my friends for most of my life, or I could emulate people who I think are truly special. Like, there's some people on Twitch Just Chatting I think are really mentally impressive. Intellectually is the word I wanted to use, not mentally. Intellectually impressive. I feel like I have stuff in common with, and I can learn from, and I think it's a great way to make friends. Honestly, I think it's a really great way to make friends, and so the question is, are you learning from them, right? So that's the first question you got to ask yourself. Are you learning from them, and are you growing? Are they going to help you grow as a person? So a lot of people are skeptical of Twitch Just Chatting because they think it's not healthy. Okay, what exactly is unhealthy about it? Is it that you're not going to spend as much time with your local friends as if you would hang out with people on the internet? Ooh, the internet, the big scary place where only bad stuff happens. No, the truth is, what do you get from friendship? You get people who you want them to help you grow as a person. You want them to help you grow as a person, and that's part of it. And the second part of it is you want to influence them. Okay, you want to influence them, and you want to have a positive effect on your community. So let me ask you something. Let's say you watch Twitch Just Chatting for like 6 hours a day. Does that mean you can't influence anybody if you do that? Does that mean you can't just influence? Well, the thing is, if you want to be an influencer, anybody can be an influencer. It's not that complicated to be an influencer. All you've got to do is be on a couple of specific websites, like Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you're an influencer. Every tweet you make, like 50 people view it, so you can influence people on Twitter. You're on YouTube. You can be an influencer on YouTube and influence people. And when I say influence, I don't mean like, oh, 1 million people are watching me. Oh, 1 million. Oh. No, that's not what an influencer is. Influencer, you can have one person being influenced by you, and that's an influencer. Every single human on this planet is an influencer, and it's not that big of a deal. People act like it's a big deal to be an influencer. It's not a big deal at all. Anybody who has a pulse is an influencer. People with this, I have a severe learning disability, and I can be an influencer because that's our natural human state. All humans want to have an impact on our local society. We all want to have a positive. We all want to bring positivity to our fellow man, to our fellow human, and that's just part of life. So the internet makes it easier. The only thing the internet does is it makes it easier to be an influencer, right? So like, it used to be you'd have to go to the local bake sale and bake some cookies to influence your local community. Okay, great. You want to bake some cookies? That's a great way to influence your local community. Well, now you can create a podcast or a vlogcast or stream on Twitch, or make music and upload it online, or do whatever you want. And there's so many ways you can influence your community other than going to your local community bake sale baking cookies. There's so many other ways to do that now, and there's so many ways you can have a positive impact. And it's really, I think the internet's great. It's a really cool place to hang out. I I think a lot of people underestimate the potential. People underestimate the human potential that people can have in their lives, and they think that um, it's like people underestimate what they can achieve if they set their mind to it. So a lot of people just try to take regular paths or whatever, work regular retail jobs or whatever, which that's an option, right? That's a normal thing to do. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to take a normal path. Like, let's say you have trouble working typical jobs because you have a learning disability. You can still be an influencer, and you can still make friends online and all that stuff. And so I mean, it works out. It works out. So yeah, that's my little spiel. What else? Yeah, so I've been using OkCupid. I've been swiping. The 50 people I get to swipe a day on OkCupid. So I just swipe right on all of them. I just press the check mark for every person on OkCupid. It's going pretty well. I get matches sometimes. As long as you get matches sometimes, that's all that really matters. You don't have to fall in love automatically on the dating website. It's not like, ooh, it's bam, wham, shazam, you fall in love. It's not that simple. It takes a lot longer than that. My thing with falling in love is, okay, so girls want guys to do all the talking, right? So I understand I'm supposed to do most of the talking, right? So so now if somebody makes contact with me on OkCupid, I go into, usually I get about 4 messages from girls a year. I usually get a message in February. I get 2 messages in November, or I get 2 messages in November, 1 message in October on the dating websites. So that's good, right? It's good to get messages. I don't like sending messages. I don't like to be the first one to send a message, because 99%, almost 100% of the time, they don't even respond to me. So honestly, I would just rather wait for them to send a message first, rather than me be the first person to send a message. So I really like when they send the message first. When I could use Bumble if I wanted to, but I'd rather not have to be forced to put in my phone number into the website, because I like using websites, because my phone, I have an Obama phone, so my phone service is about to end in a few weeks, I think, because if I lose my food stamps, I lose my Obama phone. But yeah. Yeah, so I like to wait for them to message me first on OkCupid. So when they message me, it's like a big deal, right? And it's like, oh wow, this is my big chance, this is my big opportunity, and I'm excited. So usually what I do is I usually get about 4 messages a year, and I usually try to make the most of those opportunities. They're really big moments in my life. And then so what I do is what do you call it? I try to so I try to say a lot. I think a couple of years ago I might not have said that much in my replies to them, but now I try to capitalize on the opportunity and try to say as much as I can. But I think sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I think I talk too much, and sometimes I think I don't talk enough. Because I'd actually prefer a relationship where the girl does most of the talking, or the guy, if I was with a guy. I've never had a girlfriend or a boyfriend before, but I would be open to either. But I would prefer a relationship where the significant other does most of the talking. But I understand on these dating websites, I have to do all the talking, because girls are usually more shy than guys are. Now, I'm an extremely shy person, but I also know that girls are more shy than... I completely understand that girls are more shy than even I am. And so what I do is 80% of the talking, right? I do 80% of the talking. I say a bunch of words and they say, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. And they say like one or two words. Um, and I think it goes well. I understand it's pretty daunting to do the whole experience is very daunting. And, yeah, it's very daunting. Oh yeah. So you like my new microphone? It's working a lot better than the old microphone. I noticed, it actually records. It's not completely messed up. Um, so maybe I'll do longer videos now. I don't know. We'll see. Um, um, you want to know something else? When I watch Just Chatting on Twitch for like long periods of time, like I start to smile a lot. I start to be so happy. And then when I don't watch it for like 7 to 10 days or whatever, I get really depressed. And it's like, you know, like I have to keep watching it if I want to be happy. And so it's like I have to watch it probably about 4 days a week. If I don't watch it like 4 days a week, I get really depressed. And so it's like I have to watch Twitch Just Chatting like probably about 4 days a week if I want to be really happy. I sometimes I take like 7 days off. Like I don't watch it at all for like 7 days or 10 days or I get depressed at the end of it. But sometimes I watch it and it's like I get so happy from it that it's like I get like too happy. Like I get ecstatic. Like, oh my god, this is so fun to watch. Like, oh my god, this is awesome. But but then it's like I don't know. So, like, I get really into it, and then it's like, I don't know. I start to do what, like, I start to like play Overwatch a lot. Like, sometimes I get so into like watching Just Chatting that it's just like, I think I get like obsessed over it, and then I just go to Overwatch because it's just like, because I'm trying to get a high score. I'm trying to get as high of a rank as possible in Overwatch. So, yeah, yeah. So, um, so I think I've been like depressed the last couple days because like I haven't been watching Just Chatting on Twitch as much. But as soon as I get back into it, as soon as I get back on the rhythm of watching it for like 6-7 hours a day, I'm probably gonna be a lot happier. I've just been feeling bad. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into it because then I mean because it's really fun to watch. But yeah, um, so. Um, so yeah, like the thing with OkCupid is I've heard people describe it as a boomer dating app, like boomers use it. It's funny. I do think I I mean there are a lot of young people on there, but a lot of young people use like multiple dating apps. So there are actually a lot of people that still use it. It was actually really big about 10 years ago, about 8 to 10 years ago. OkCupid was at its probably peak. Now, Tinder has surpassed it. Bumble has surpassed it. Hinge has surpassed it. All these other apps have way surpassed OkCupid. I think POF even surpassed it, but it's just, yeah. It's still good, though. It's still one of the top 10. It's an app and it's a website. So most people connect to it on the app, but I connect to it on the website because I don't want to be attached to my phone because my phone's not going to last forever. I know my phone's going to die at some point, but I'm not worried about that. So I just use the website. Yeah, yeah. So like, there's this weird thing where it's like, I feel like I'm trying to convince girls on OkCupid of something, and like I feel like I'm trying to get them to fall in love with me, but it's pretty hard to do. It's pretty hard to do in person. It's pretty hard to do on the app. Um, It's still fun to try though. Like it's a interesting experience. You know, it's pretty interesting. Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? But the problem is when I do all the talking, I feel like I'm like what do you call it? I feel like I'm trying to convince them to fall in love with me, but what I'm not getting when I do all the talking is they're not telling me why I should trust them. So like I try to get them to fall in love with me, but they're not telling me why I should trust them. So like sometimes they want to meet me in real life. They want to meet me in person. Okay, okay. So fine. You want to meet me in person, fine. But how do I know I can trust you if you want to meet me in person? So like I understand. I understand you want me to convince you to fall in love with me. I understand that, but they're not trying to convince me that I can trust them. Okay, so I don't know. I don't. Am I missing something? Like they don't want me to. Like I'm convincing. I'm trying to convince them to fall in love with me, but they're not convincing me that I can trust them. And I feel like they're not even trying to convince me to fall in love with them. Like I don't even know what they want. Because I met this one girl on there and she was like, what did she say? She was asking me what type of relationship did I want, and I was just saying, oh, I could, short term, long term. I was into basically any type of relationship she wanted, and I thought it was going really well. And then what do you call it? Um, yeah, I thought we were like friends. I thought we had a really good rapport. Is that the word, rapport? That we had a really good rapport. And I thought we were just gonna keep talking for the long term. And then it turns out but she wanted to meet me in person, and I said, yeah, I want to meet you in person too. So she's like, oh, I'd really like to meet you in person. And I was like, yes, I'd really like to meet you in person too. And I don't know. I don't know. She just stopped talking to me. She stopped talking to me for a while, and then she blocked me. I don't know what I did wrong. Like, she was talking to me for a while, and then she blocked me. Like, I thought it was going really well. Like, I thought, okay. Yes, I know we hadn't set a time that I was gonna meet her in person, but like, I thought we were like still friends. I didn't. I understand, like, she doesn't want to be lovers, or she doesn't want to make a date to meet someone in person, but it's like, I thought we could still be friends, or if even if she didn't want to take it to the next level. But I don't even think she wanted to be friends. Like, she just blocked me, and it's like, and that's one of my 4 messages I get a year, so I just gotta wait for the next message. Usually the next message comes in February. Usually I get 4 a year. And it's possible I might even get less as I get older, because I'm probably less attractive as I get older, so I'll probably even get less messages as I get older. Unless I can make myself more attractive as I get older, then I'll get more messages as I get older. So that's the goal, right? That's the goal, is to make myself more attractive so that I could, what do you call it, get more messages as I get older. See, that's why I'm going to the gym, and I'm practicing singing and dancing and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm trying to make myself more interesting, more physically fit, all that, More of an intellectual, more whatever. More culture. I'm trying to make myself more cultured, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make myself more interesting to talk to. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I think she wanted me to pick a time and a place to meet her in person, and it's like, okay, I mean, you want me to do that? Okay, but I didn't know if I could fully trust her because she hadn't told me why, A, I should either fall in love with her, why I should trust her. She's just some random girl on the internet. Like, was she gonna rob me? Like, I didn't know anything about her. She didn't tell me anything about her. She didn't. I did like 80 to 90% of the talking. Okay, I did most of the talking, and I asked her questions, and she gave like 1 or 2 word answers. Like, so if you're gonna give like 1 or 2 word answers, how do I know I can even trust you? If you're not really actually talking, how do I even know I can trust you? Like, I'm gonna meet you in person? I don't know anything about you. Who are you? Who are you? What even is that? I just, like, I was hoping she would like talk more about herself, or like just, I didn't know. I didn't know who she was, you know? Who is she? Like, tell me who she is. Like, I just, it's complicated, you know? It's really complicated. But I enjoyed it either way. It was one of the best parts of my year, just talking to her, because I thought she was really interesting. Yeah. And I get really excited, too, because it's not every day I get messages. I only get like 4 messages a year, so... you know, I'm very fortunate, I'm very lucky, I'm very blessed that she even messaged me. So I thought it was really great. It's fantastic. Thought it was a great experience, and honestly, I'm only going to learn from it. I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to try to figure out what it is. Like, if I set a date with her, she probably would have. She might have been interested if I set a date with her. I have gone on a date before. Like, I played frisbee with a girl before, and it felt like playing frisbee with my sister. You know, like, so like I played frisbee with a girl before, but it was sort of like the same experience as playing frisbee with my sister. Like, it wasn't anything special. You know, it was good. It was good, but I didn't really think I thought it was worth the time to do it. I thought it was like a good experience to have. I didn't think it was like I didn't really want to do it again, you know. You know, frisbee is something where it's like it's good, but it's not like any better than like a video game. You know, it's probably not even as good as a video game. So it's just like, okay, you know, frisbee's okay, but it's like I kind of have better games I can play. You know, it was special playing frisbee with her because I had never been on a date before, and that was my first date. I've been on 1 date in my life, and that was with her, this girl I used to know from this job I used to work at. But it was good. Sometimes I think I should ask her to play frisbee again, but I didn't. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I didn't enjoy it in the way that like I'd want to do it again, right? So I enjoyed like having that experience of knowing what it's like to go on a date, but I don't necessarily want to do that again. Not with her not with her, because I think if I did it with somebody else, I think it would be like a different type of experience. I think I would feel more, just feel more if I did that with somebody else. But, you know, but I enjoyed having that experience of knowing what a date feels like. You know, I did that about 2 or 3 years ago. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago I did that. Yeah, we just played frisbee and it was good. I don't think it was as good as video games. I'd rather play video games, but now I know what a date feels like anyway. Um, so, so I'm just trying to figure out a way I can have some sort of a relationship with either a girl or a boy or whatever that's like romantic, but like reproducible, like something that I could do on a consistent basis. That's not, I don't know. It's not boring. Not, I don't know. And the other thing I just want is like for someone like fall in love with me, right? Just someone to fall in love with me. But that's kind of ridiculous too. You know, I do like the idea of falling in love, but I don't know how hard is it to get someone to fall in love with you. I fall in love all the time. Like I tell girls I love them on dating apps all the time, and it's not a good pickup line. If you ever try that, oh I love you, that's not a good pickup line. So I wouldn't advise you to do that. Um, you know, so I mean it's an okay line. I think there's worse lines. I mean I think if you were like disrespectful or whatever, like that would be worse, right? There are worse lines than that. You know, there are worse things you can say. But it's okay. It's not going to get you anywhere. No, it's not going to. It's not like it's there's probably better things. Like the point I'm trying to make is there's probably better things I could say. But I enjoyed saying that to I said it to like 100 people on dating apps or whatever, and you know it was okay. It was okay. I don't I don't know if I was. I don't really initiate conversations anymore because you know that song "No More I Love Yous" by Annie Lennox. That's what I feel like. I feel like no more I love yous. The language is leaving me. No more I love yous. It's leaving me. So I feel like I can't really say that as much as I used to. Like I don't really try to say that to initiate a conversation. Um, it's okay. I need to think of something else to say. I need to think of something a lot better than that. That's for sure. A lot better than that. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to think of what to say, but that's why I like when they talk to me first because I like when they tell me what they're interested in. What tell me about them because so like I can fall in love on a spur of a dime, right? I can fall in love like really quickly, but the question I have is how difficult would it be for them to fall in love with me? So like I already know I can fall in love with them, but would they be interested or open to falling in love with me? It's like how complicated would that be? You know, like I I know it's viable. I know it's like it happens all the time. It happens every day somewhere, but I don't know like I don't know what they're looking for. If they just told me what they were looking for, then maybe I could help them in their situation. But I don't know. I think um, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting sociological experience. But yeah. Um, but I don't know. In a lot of ways, I don't really care. You know, it's like they can kind of do whatever they want. You know, I just I'm not really worried about it. A lot of ways, I'm glad I don't have like a ball and chain. because that'd be a lot of maintenance. You have to buy birthday presents, buy Valentine's presents, buy all these presents, and I don't even know if I'd want it. I don't know if I'd want all that maintenance and having to like call them every day. There's some girls that want you to call them every day. Every day! Every day! What? How would I call them every day? I'm not calling anybody every day. If I call my mom once a week, then maybe I would call them like once a week, but call them every day? I've heard that. I know there's a lot of girls that want to be called every day. It's like, what? What? You want to be called every day? How much do you want to talk about? Yeah. How much do you want to talk? Like, what is that? Be called every day? What do you even want to talk about that? What do you even want to talk about? Like, I don't know what that is. Call you every day? What? What are we going to talk about every day? What even is that? I don't know. So, like, in a lot of ways, like, if that's the bar, is like calling someone every day, I'm not going to worry about that. If I would have to do that, I would just, oh my God. Oh my God. What are we going to talk about every day? I don't know. But other people socialize more than I do anyways, so I don't really understand them either, so whatever. I just got back from Domino's, got some pizza. So I'm pretty full. Pretty full. I'm a lot fatter, but I feel full. Feels good. Feels good, man. Feels good. So now I can get up close to the desk because the desk isn't going to make the clicking noise it made before, so I can even lean on the desk or lean next to the microphone. It's all good. It's all good. I just wish I was employed, I wish I was employed, but whatever. So like, okay. So I am interested in girls, and I'm also interested in guys. So I'm like, I am very straight, and I am completely gay at the same time. Very straight, and I'm very gay at the same time. I'm 100% bisexual. 100% bisexual. I love guys. I love girls. I love everybody. There's nobody I don't love. So I just realized that this camera, my eyes are halfway closed. I don't know if my eyes are always like that or not. I used to think I was like, I used to think I was like 5% asexual. But when you think about how complicated the process is, I think I'm more like 99.9% asexual. I think that's okay. I've been watching Anne with an E, like the TV show Anne with an E, and there's 2 seasons of. I watched all the first 2 seasons, and I'm on episode 3 of season 3 of Anne with an E. And one of the characters he's like a 70-year-old man, and he seems like he's asexual. So like I feel like if people had a better open dialogue about asexuality, and people were more open to the idea, if people understood other people's asexuality better, then I feel like people's health would really increase. Everybody's different. This idea that like, oh, everybody's supposed to be exactly the same. No, everybody's not supposed to be exactly the same. Actually, conforming is really bad. It's really bad to conform. You don't want to conform. No, you don't want to conform. So I don't have a problem saying like I'm asexual. Not 100%. I'm definitely still attracted to men. I'm still attracted to women, but maybe 99.9%, or maybe less. Maybe it's 80%. Maybe it's 50%. Maybe it's 20%. Maybe it's 5%. I don't know what it is, but it's a big percentage, and a lot of it's just understanding, like me understanding other people, other people understanding me. And that's all life is just understanding. Yeah. Understand different lifestyle choices, different ways of living, different philosophical ideas. The more progressive you are, the better. Because if you're really, really progressive, then you'll have a better understanding of the way social systems work, and you want to have a clear and educated understanding of social systems. I know people who like told me like college was a waste of time, but I didn't think college was a waste of time at all. Even though it didn't get me a job that I wanted in the business world, I don't think it was. The purpose of college is not to get a job. The purpose of college is to educate yourself. And it's not just about getting a job. There's some people who don't go to college to get a job. Some people go to college to become a more well-rounded person. And that's what I felt like I became when I went to college. I felt like I became a more well-rounded person. And I started to understand more people from different cultural perspectives and different ideas. And I learned so much when I was there, even though I failed half my classes. When I went to the university, I did really well at the community college, but then I failed half my classes when I transferred to a 4-year university for my bachelor's degree. I got an associate's degree, but I failed to get my bachelor's degree because, I have a severe learning disability, but yeah. And that's one of the great things I learned in college was understanding other cultures, understanding other philosophies, understanding other ways of viewing things, and becoming a more well-rounded person. It's not about getting a job. It's okay that going to college didn't get me a job, but it does make me grow a lot as a person. Honestly, I always think back to those years, and I think back of everything I learned in those classes and in those lectures and those textbooks, and it was really a lot. It was a lot of information. It was a really lot of information, It was a lot of information. So, yep. So I think it made me a more well-rounded person. And I think it could help me in my career. The knowledge that I gained there, I think could help me in my career. I had a professor one time. I was thinking about this a lot lately. I had a professor one time, and he was like, what did he say? Well, what happened was I was failing his class, and he knew I was failing his class. And it's one of those classes of like 500. No, yeah, it was like 500 students. It was a big auditorium full of 500 students, right? And I always have this look, like when I walk around, that I always think about Disney World, and I always think about happy things, and I always think about positivity and and joyful thoughts and good memories and fantasies of what the future could be. So like I always have that way of walking through the world. So my professor was one time looking at me. He was looking at me when I was like walking to class or just walking to whatever, and he could tell he could read my mind and he could tell what I was thinking. I have never figured out how people do that, how people read other people's minds. I have no idea how that works. But so he was like reading my mind and he was thinking, so he saw that I was fantasizing about Disney World. And the next day in class, he was talking to his full auditorium of 500 students. And he says, like, almost as a response to me or something. I didn't even say anything to him, but I think he knew I was failing his class, and so he wanted to just talk about me or something. But so like he wasn't even looking at me when he was saying this, but he said, he thinks you have to work really hard to pass this class. It's a really difficult it's a difficult class to pass. It was called finance. Finance is a very advanced math, and he knew it was a hard class. He knew I wasn't doing well. So he's like, you got to study a lot for this class, and don't ever think that this university is like Disney World. He said, I know it looks like the buildings look like they're on Main Street, or the architecture, or the lights, or the cobblestone sidewalks, the cobblestone roads. It might look like Disney World, but this university, this class is not Disney World. And I was like, first of all, how did he read my mind and know I was thinking about Disney World the day before? How did he read my mind and know that? Like, how did he even know that? What? How do people even do that? How do people read my mind like that? I've never understood how people read minds like that. And then, in front of 500 students, say, this school and this class is not Disney World. The world is not Disney World. And I remember him saying, like, the world is not Disney World. And I'm like, what? Why are you saying that? And, oh, God. Why would you say the world is not Disney World? First of all, just because I can't pass your class doesn't mean this university isn't like Disney World. That's not what that means. Just because you need a super high intelligence to pass finance does not mean this university is not like Disney World. Second of all, you don't get to decide what the world is, professor. With all due respect, I didn't say anything to him. I didn't say any of this to him. I looked at him like, what are you talking about? But like, I didn't say anything to him, by the way. I let him go on his rant, and then he went back to teaching advanced math and finance and all that stuff. I was like, you don't even know what Disney World is. What if you went to Disney World 5-10 times and you think you know what it is? No, professor, you don't know what Disney World is. Disney World is not a physical location, okay? It is a place in our imagination, okay? It's a place in our heart, okay? You don't say what is and what isn't Disney World. You know, who are you? Who are you? You know, I just, like, he obviously doesn't believe in magic, you know? I've met people who don't believe in magic, and it's like, okay, you don't believe in magic. That's okay if you don't believe in magic, but you can't tell me that there's no such thing as magic just because you don't believe in magic. You know, just because you don't believe Disney World is a real place. Just you think we can't make this place like Disney World? You think we can't make our world like Disney World? Why? Why do you think, what is it about the world that's so difficult that we can't make it like Disney World? I love Disney World. I love everything about Disney. I love Disney movies. I love Epcot, the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. I love going to Disney World. I've never been to the Animal Kingdom. I've never been to the Animal Kingdom, but it's like The professor's like, this world is not like Disney World. No. He's like a grumpy old professor. Who is that guy, you know? He's like a grumpy old professor. And he thinks he even knows what Disney World... What did he go with his kids like 10 times Disney World? What, did he go to Disney World when he was like 8 years old? When it first opened in like 1973? Or whatever. How does he know what it is? How does he know what the idea is? Is he a philosophy professor? No, he's a finance. He's a business professor, telling me what Disney World is. He thinks it's some corporation. He thinks it's some Fortune 500 company. He thinks Disney is some Fortune 500 company that's just like, oh, it's all about money. Oh, it's all about money. What are you talking about? It's not about money. I get it. He's a finance teacher. He thinks about money. I get it. But he's such a downward view of life that he thinks we can't make our world like Disney World. Like, I don't know. It's such a limited way of viewing things, you know. It's such a limited way of viewing things. And I think he's wrong. I think he's 100% wrong. I think our world is already like Disney World. And B, we can make it more like Disney World if we wanted it to. You don't have to pay the $150, $200, whatever it costs nowadays to go to Disney World, to go to Disney World. You can make your daily life like Disney World if you wanted to. It's an idea. It's not a physical place. It's a philosophy. It's a way of viewing things, you know. I mean, he was so cynical. Like, this isn't Disney World. This is a university. What's his deal, you know? What's his deal? I never got it, you know. But what was he talking about? He's probably even been to Disney World more times than me. He probably has like 3 kids. He probably went when each of the kids were like 5 years old. And he probably went when he was a kid too. And when it opened in the 70s. And, you know, he thinks he understands the place better than I do. Okay? He thinks he understands Disney World better than I do. Okay. I'll take that challenge. I'll take that challenge, Professor. So, I don't know. I just wish he'd stick to finance, you know. He was like getting into philosophy, but I don't think he knows the key to philosophy. I kind of got the feeling he didn't know the key to philosophy, but yeah. So, is there anything else I wanted to talk about today? I think that was it. I really just want to do on that Disney rant. And talk about my asexuality and my bisexuality and my homosexuality and my regular sexuality, or my lack of sexuality. Yeah, I have a huge lack of sexuality. I like yeah, I'm not gonna get any more into it. I don't feel limited by what societal standards or what societal norms that people pressure each other to. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this. If you ever hear anybody say you got to do this, you got to like raise an eyebrow and just say like, what do you mean you got to do this? Who are you saying you got to do this? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's okay. People like conformity. All right, I'm going to go. Let's get the script here. Thank you for watching and have a great day. And now a word from our sponsors. Are you looking for an easy way to make money online part-time? Or are you looking for a long-term career in marketing? If you click the link in the description of this video and join ClickBank University, you'll be rewarded with awesome opportunities to make cash now. They said it couldn't be done. Scientists have just found the formula for Organify. Join the green health movement that's changing the world. Click the link in the description of this video to discover the secret to losing weight. It's never been this easy to lose weight until now. I love video games just like a lot of people. What if I told you you could get paid to play video games? You can make $50,000 a year if you become a video game tester. Just click the link in the description of this video and you can start a lucrative career testing video games. I know what you're thinking. How are you supposed to be successful like me? Well, I've written a book. It's called From Zero to Hero, and you can purchase it at the link below this video. I started out just like you at one time, and now look at me. They put me on YouTube. Order it today. Change your life now. This channel is sponsored by viewers like you. I would be extremely thankful if you support me making content just like this video here. Click the link in the description below to support me on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.